Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pete and Jeremy's D&D Time. This is game 2 this evening, an adventure that I have entitled Escargoat. But before we get into that, I want to just take a quick minute to introduce our 4 lovely players and their characters. So I guess we actually have 2 characters that are new to Pete and Jeremy's D&D Time this evening, albeit they are long-standing players. Do you want me to introduce you two kind of together or separately? Deus and Sikia, or Deus. How do you pronounce? I'm sorry. We'll start with Deus. Oh my goodness, I can't speak. Deus sang de Carte.
Yeah, that's good enough.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. There's a little bit of Frenchish heritage way back, but honestly, I'm so used to the small kingdoms now. I don't even feel French.
You don't sound French either.
I know I don't, and it's.
You just gotten so used to life in the small kingdoms.
Yeah, you can just call me Deus. It's fine.
Well, Deus, welcome to the land of DnDTime and to Bartholomew's Adventuring Company. You say you've been here a long time, and you're originally from a place called France?
I don't know where it is. My ancestors are from there somewhere.
Oh. That's funky. Deus, what brings you to adventure with Bartholomew's company? Is it power? Is it? Yeah, I mean, what is it? What are you interested in?
She dragged me along.
Oh.
She told me, like, you're signing up now.
This is slander. I promise this is slander.
So I suppose we should probably introduce you. Sikia in Invastra. Did I say that correctly?
You know what? You didn't butcher this name compared to the other people I've heard you butcher before. Good job.
They call me Butcher Jeremy? Sikia, I guess welcome. What has brought you into Bartholomew's Adventuring Company, and why did you bring along this guy?
He and I are an item. He goes with me wherever I go, and I decided to come here on an impulsive whim because I want to see more universes, you know?
Oh, you're universe hoppers.
Oh, are we not going with the cover story then?
There was a cover story?
Yeah, I was rolling out this whole cover story that I live in the small kingdoms.
I won't tell anyone.
Shit.
This is just between you and me. No one else can hear this, so.
Okay, good.
No, yeah, let's go with the real stories then.
Okay, so you're just basically here on a vacation. You're just touring the lands of D&D Time, so to speak.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's going to be a really interesting life, just going from place to place, exploring.
Well, after saving the first one, I mean, every time we come to a new one, it's a power reset. But, you know, it's nice for a change, having to work our way back up to the top from where we were.
Well,
also, it's nice that this world isn't facing any impending disaster where some high-powered group of individuals that are adversarial to the main force of good in this world will eventually overthrow it and destroy all of civilization. It's a really good thing that's not going to happen here.
That's not the case here. I can assure you. Well, anyway, thank you all for joining us. I'm sure you're going to have a wonderful adventure this evening. A nice, easy, hopefully easy starter adventure to really get you into the gear of things. So, of course, welcome, and I wish you to the best. Our next hero this evening is Azarion. Azarion, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing awesome.
I'm really glad. You know, awesome is probably the best way to be. Azarion, how have you been? So you've been on one adventure right now with Bartholomew's company. How do you think, if you had to give it a rating, 1 to 5, where would you put that adventure? Like, is it everything you wanted, or was it lacking in certain things?
5+.
5+. Oh man, I guess because you battled a dragon, right? I mean, that's like a rite of passage as an adventurer.
Yeah, I mean, I got to offer him a toothbrush, so.
Well, of course. So, Azarion, what have you been doing since your last adventure? I mean, you went out, you battled, I guess, technically battled a dragon, right? You had a very successful time. What have you been doing to pass the time in the meanwhile?
I was creating my master plan to kill every single person in this world.
Oh, wait, you're trying to kill everybody in the world?
Yeah.
Oh no! I think no. Azarion, what has brought you to want to do this?
Yeah, I was accidentally saw a reality show and I was like, oh my god, these people are stupid. I want them dead. And that's how my master plan came.
Well, Azarion, I am obligated to wish you luck in all of your endeavors. So good luck. I'm sure that I'm not going to say I'm sure that someday you're going to kill everybody in the world, but I hope for my sake, people who live here, maybe not everyone, but I do hope that you kill all the people you need to kill in this adventure, because I'm sure there will be things to defeat and destroy. Welcome back. Oh boy. Our next hero this evening is, speaking of killing everyone, Deadly Massacre. Deadly Massacre, how are you?
Hello, how's it going?
Ian, I was doing really good. Now I'm a little afraid I'm going to get killed, but only a little bit. I'm not like that afraid. How about you?
Well, I know they call you Butcher Pete, so, yeah.
I'm not Butcher Pete.
I'm doing great.
I'm Jeremy.
Butcher Jeremy.
What's Deadly Massacre? You've had quite a few adventures with us now. You're getting pretty close, I know, to being able to take on a boss battle. I'm wondering, how have you been really acclimating to the power that you've gained as an adventurer here in the company so far?
I mean, the power has been getting more enduring. I mean, I've been eating a lot of people, so
oh my goodness!
You might want to be scared.
Now, are you've been eating a lot of people. Now, Deadly, you are a halfling. When you say a lot, like, do you mean whole humans? Because that's
Yes.
a lot of body for someone who is smaller, like you currently are. Is this just over a long period of time?
It takes hours, days, weeks, months.
Oh no.
Depends.
Now, Deadly, I'm gonna try and put my previous thoughts about eating people off. I'm not gonna try and judge it. I'm gonna ask though, what brought you to consume human flesh originally? What was the main thing? You said, you know what? I'm gonna eat some people. What was the inciting event?
I mean, my name is Deadly Massacre for a reason. I did have a knife, so why not use it?
So just after you just kill some people, you're just like, oh, you know what? I might as well eat them. I'm here. I've already got the knife. I just need a fork.
Sure, why not?
Well, you know what? I think you'd get along really, really well with another high tier adventurer in the adventuring company called Switch. I believe she also really likes to eat people, although she only likes to eat the rich. But Deadly, welcome. I'm not sure you're going to have too many people to eat on this adventure, but I guess we'll see.
Darn it.
Well, I guess we'll see. Who knows? Oh my goodness! And so let's just jump into the adventure here. You've all gathered, or rather, you haven't gathered in Bartholomew's shop. Bartholomew has sent, pigeons have teleported into the air in front of you, each with little notes tied around their legs, which have been sent by Bartholomew, or probably by Roger, more like, to inform you of your missions. Getting the notes from the pigeons and you read them, you've been instructed to head to a place in just by the base of the Slumbering Spine, a very large mountain range to the south of the lands of DnDTime, a valley known as Littletoe, where I guess the farmers are having some kind of an ongoing issue that, he didn't really give a lot of detail, just he basically was asking you, make them stop bothering me, because I guess they've been asking for a lot of help lately. And so you all have made your way down to the south of the lands and met up just along the road on your way to the to this area, this Littletoe Valley. And so as you're walking down the road, the four of you can see up ahead of you what looks like a village. There are thatched roof cottages, a couple of larger buildings, maybe storehouses made of wood, some grain silos, and there is just farmland as far as the eye can see. The whole area seems to be crested in this large kind of U-shaped valley of mountains. And yeah, so up ahead, you're just walking down the road. What are you all kind of doing right as you're walking down the road, approaching this this town? Beautiful sunny day.
A great time to play my violins.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah, we could both be playing violins. I need to get some practice in with this thing.
You have a violin too?
Well, actually, no, I didn't bring it with me. I only brought the flute. But
I can do beatbox.
What was that, Azarion?
I can do beatbox instead of violin.
Excellent. So
I'm
beautiful.
just sitting on the side of the road, just waiting for people to go by.
No one seems to be really going by yet, but you do see some people starting to leave the town up ahead of you on wagons burdened with all sorts of things. So, Azarion, you want to beatbox. Sikia, you want to play the violin. And
Yes.
Deus, you want to play the flute?
Yeah, let's give ourselves some grand entrance music so that they know we're coming in.
There's no bass for this, which I find really sucks.
Can you sing? So we have the full band.
So are you guys like stopping at the side of the road and waiting for the people to come? Because there are some people clearly leaving the town, heading in the direction of this dirt road, the only road that leaves this town. Or are you going to keep heading forward and just kind of play your music as you approach? Is this your grand entrance music?
Let's make it a grand entrance music.
I don't know about grand entrance music, but it's up to those two, really.
Okay. So as you're walking, Azarion, you're beatboxing. Deadly Massacre, you're singing, I think is what we're going to call this.
Yes.
And the rest of your... So can I get a performance check out of everyone as you're heading toward this town? Just down the road. All right. Nice so far, Sikia. Not too shabby, Deus. That's a 5. Deadly Massacre. And Azarion, you're like...
This is oddly fitting.
You got the beat going. Yeah, it's going pretty well. Overall, it's a pretty successful little improv. I think you've been walking for a long time, so you've had some time to practice and like get this in shape. So as you're approaching the town, it's actually kind of okay. And yeah, you're heading up the road. You're playing your instruments. You're singing your song. You're beating your boxes. All this kind of stuff. Flouting the flute, and you see up ahead there was like this cart that has a like it's strapped to a mule that's pulling a bunch of supplies, and there are a bunch of people, and they seem very anxious. But as they hear you coming and like they're heading down the road towards you, they just kind of stop in almost shock as you four just just make your way into town. What is this feature that you're invoking, Sikia?
Oh,
All eyes on you.
Yeah, this is just... I look really out of place here, basically. Not terribly out of place, but I'm not from here, and everyone can...
Mm-hmm. Are you dressed in a bizarre or unusual way? Or is this, you just don't look like a farmer from this small town?
Both. I don't know how to answer that on the former, though.
Okay, yeah, so maybe you're just very colorfully dressed or something like that, lots of bits and baubles.
Actually, that is about as fitting as you can describe it. So yes.
There we go. You've got all manners of bits and baubles, maybe like little jingly bells or what have you, as you're making your way down the road. And you have these people that were just like obviously in a tizzy, just totally anxious, frenzied, packing up their stuff to leave. Just kind of pause as you approach them. Do you just walk by them and keep heading toward the town? Or do you want to stop and talk to them? They're just kind of like, what is this? They're just in shock, this small family.
Definitely really wants to eat them, so it's gonna say, I'm gonna eat you. Come here.
How
children.
About you don't?
What our friend means here is that we're gonna consume your worries and turn them into solutions because we're here to save the day.
That is such a good turnaround. I'd like each of you to roll me. I'd like you roll me an intimidation check, and I'm gonna have Deus. I'm gonna have you roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
I was already going to help, and I'm trained in persuasion.
That roll though.
Beautiful turnaround. But like at first, they're like, oh no, not enough. Oh, thank goodness. You see, it's a family of three that you see before you. There is an older man. There's a kind of middle-aged woman, and there is a not like young child anymore, but in their like mid-teens. So probably like an adult by medieval standards. And the woman approaches you and says, "Yes, please do. Everything's gone bad in the last week. There was the giant, the Epic Snail, and now there's a giant."
Hold up. I've heard about the Epic Snail before, but what's this about a giant?
Well, just the other day, we thought all of our problems were dealt with when the snail was gone. We never have trouble here. We're shielded by the mountains, but a terrible giant crawled up from the ground through the crevasse. And it hasn't come near the town yet, but well, you never know. We've all heard stories of the giants.
Hey,
they eat people.
Deus, are you up for a little bit of more adventuring?
What I hear is that we've got to put a pounding on a giant. And you know what they say, the bigger they are.
I want you to finish that statement.
It's the harder they fall. It's a classic saying.
Okay, but I'm not from Earth, thank you.
One of the kid looks at you all, kind of a teenage boy, shaggy brown hair, that's just not really well kept. Looks at you all. So, are you adventurers?
Yes.
From the company? I told you they'd come.
Yes, the company. That company.
Not the other company.
Wait, there's another one?
Eat
That
and kill
sound good.
things.
Oh. And the kid goes, well, if you want to eat the giant, you can. Just please make it leave or kill it or anything.
Just cut its legs, and it won't be giant.
Can't live in peace knowing there's a giant just over the hills.
Hey, we'll handle it. No worries.
Cut the giant's legs, and he will be shorter, and he won't be giant anymore. Probably.
I mean, if it eats people, then I eat people, then I can battle it really easily.
The woman goes, just kind of gasps in shock and takes like a step back.
You two?
Yeah, like we said, we eat people's problems. We turn things around. We make the world a better place.
The older man who has just kind of been sitting on the front of the cart. He's got the reins for the mule. He's chewing on a piece of straw. He's got like a big straw hat. He's just kind of like watching this whole thing. Yep.
Okay.
That's adventurers.
We're gonna deal with this. You three are probably safe to go on for now.
And they eagerly take that as an opportunity to like disengage from the conversation. They get back on the cart, and you hear the boy who sits up at the front next to presumably his father, but the older man, and he says, "Do you think they actually, the little one actually eats people?" And you can just hear this faintly as they're riding away, and just hear, "Yep."
Wait, hold on. Sikia's not the shortest one of this group.
Yeah, how tall is everyone?
Sikia is 5'2".
3'11".
I got a question though. If giants eat people and Deadly Massacre eats people, does that mean Deadly Massacre is a giant? And if we kill Deadly Massacre, we basically won.
A strange silence permeates the air around you. However, in the distance, you can begin to hear the sounds of the rest of the town, kind of in a tizzy. People are yelling and screaming and running to and fro. They seem to be very anxious, or rather, in a full freak out. Would you like to just keep heading toward the town and head into the middle of the chaos, or do you want to kind of go around the town toward the direction that the family pointed to it?
I'm just gonna keep beatboxing, and whatever comes my way, I'll do it.
Okay, excellent. So we have this excellent like backing track to the whole walk here.
I'm thinking we should be stealthful on this one.
Stealth is not a bad idea.
Oh, I can do stealthy beatbox.
Yeah, you can quietly beatbox, absolutely.
Quietly beatbox.
Very quiet beatboxing. Okay, so it sounds like you all wanted to.
Sorry, I'm just gonna put the flute away.
Okay, it sounds like you guys are gonna try and stealthily. You're gonna avoid bothering the town because you still want to deal with frustrated yelling people. You're gonna try and sneak up to where the family pointed as a giant.
That's probably the best thing and the most straightforward.
Okay, could I get stealth checks from everybody? As you avoid the town entirely, but you start heading toward the spot where you were pointed toward the giant.
Sorry guys, I don't have the flute put away yet. Just a moment.
And one of your water skins, right, was empty, but it was also open, and it landed just such that the end of the water skin poked into the tip of the flute, and so as you walked, right, the water skin compressed and air pushed into it like a bagpipe. It just
put that flute away now.
I thought you had it put away, but now it's a fucking bagpipe. What's going on?
Yeah, well, you asking me that or him?
No, I'm asking Deus.
It's just the flute case isn't very cooperative right now. Doesn't want to open back up. I'm having trouble with it.
All right. As you continue to sneak upward, not terrible, but also not great. Looks like your DC to beat's going to be 12. Let's see if he sees you. Oh, he's not very perceptive. So, oh, he's super perceptive apparently. You're sneaking up, cresting the top of a hill, and you hear these lumbering steps, but you can't really see it because of the dome of the hill. And as you're kind of reaching the top, there are some large rocks, and you're beginning to see off to the side a large crevasse that, I don't know, could lead deep down into the earth. However, then one of the rocks just kind of like turns, and you realize it's not a rock. It's the head of a giant, a terrible gray-brown skinned Fomorian. He looks almost like stone in his visage. He's got a large hunched back covered in warts and other growths, and he's got a very large bulbous orange eye with like a cat's slit down the middle, but only one of them. The other is seemingly a normal looking eye. And this giant turns and looks at you from just about like 2 or 3 feet away and goes, "Bonjour."
Oh my god, it speaks French.
Bonjour.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Chinese.
Oh,
Hi.
of course. Kind of like tries to stretch a little bit as it stands up to its full height. This creature towers probably 20, 25 feet as it looks down toward you. Or I guess it's actually close to at your eye level because it's not on a hill, but you are. And it like looks down. What are you doing over here?
We want to hurt you. You've been hurting people because you've been eating them. And even though I can eat people, that's not the right thing to do.
I just came to ask for a back massage.
Now, Azarion, are you serious or is that a deception check? You don't want to fight this giant?
I'm serious.
Okay. So, Azarion thinks he's just here for a massage. The Fomorian giant looks at you all. Oh. No. I have not hurt anyone here.
What do you mean? You have hurt everyone here. They've been running away from this town.
He kind of rolls his large, bulbous eye. The other eye is kind of like squinted shut almost as the Fomorian looks at you all. No, I'm not here for the people. I'm here for the snail. And he kind of like gestures toward the crevasse.
Wait, you're here for the snail?
We.
I thought it was just one of you.
He's saying yes. Actually, pretty convenient that I'm here because I understand French.
Okay. That's
You
the language.
speak civilized tongue. He says, looking toward you, Deus.
Sweet.
Well, je t'aime l'escargoat. And he kind of goes and gestures. And as you kind of like follow his gesture, you go over to the edge of the crevasse and you look down. And there appears to be a giant, a gargantuan snail just smashed at the bottom of this crevasse. Like it had fallen over the side and just the shell's all shattered. And he gestures at it and turns to the rest of the group. I thought it would be delicious with some garlic butter sauce.
You should try salt too.
And maybe some people.
No, not people. You don't need
Don't
people.
know about that one.
Don't be me. You can't eat people.
Well,
Okay. So, really what you're asking for is a way down to the snail, or you want to bring it up? What's the issue?
No. I need someone to get the garlic.
Okay.
It grows up on the mountain. And he gestures in a direction.
What if I beatbox you to sleep and you go to the winter sleep like a bear and you don't need to?
But then the snail
No.
won't be here when he wakes up.
He kind of like looks at you a little confused, Azarion.
Okay.
I was expecting adventurers to come.
So the issue is, I'm figuring this is like some massive garlic. Maybe, I don't know.
You asking him what? You're thinking what?
If this is like massive garlic that we have to get for a massive slime, for a massive Fomorian.
Yeah, you're thinking something not too dissimilar. And he says, they're up on the mountain is where the garlic grows.
Okay. If that's just the case, then I suppose we should probably go and get this garlic.
I would go myself, but the goats are up on the mountain.
The
Just-
goats.
don't want to fall. And it's far too bright up there, too.
Just a warning. You're going to have really bad.
I'm aware. The giant looks at you all. Well?
We can probably do that. Just, could you do us a favor and try to stay out of the line of sight of the village?
I have. That's why I'm behind this hill. They've come every night with torches. And every night I've scared them away with but a blink of my eye. And his kind of like large, kind of bulbous eye almost like quivers in a really unsettling way.
Well,
But it's getting awfully annoying.
All right, let's get this out of the way then.
Let's just come back by tonight so that we don't have any more of these troubles.
He looks, that would be preferable.
All right, onward to the mountain for garlic. Yes.
Okay. So you guys want to head over to the Littletoe Mountain?
Yes.
I will.
Okay.
Deus probably will, because he follows me like a lost puppy.
Hey!
My
I'm just saying, a very loving puppy.
legs are hurting. Can somebody carry me?
No problem. Oh no, wait. I'm too small.
Fine. I'll carry you then.
Thank you.
Wait,
Okay. So Deadly Massacre, you're being carried by Azarion.
Yeah, I realized they actually have wings. I don't need to walk.
Oh, you are a winged tiefling?
Yeah.
Ooh, excellent. So you're just kind of flying a little bit. Sikia and Deus, what are you two doing? Are you guys all just heading to the mountains?
oh yes.
Okay. So
Sikia is poking fun at Deus, and Deus is like, hey, what the fuck?
does this sound right, Deus?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you start heading toward the mountain, leaving this giant alone, and you never asked his name, which is a little rude. And yeah, you make your way toward the base of this mountain. It's pretty close to the town. The town's in this little valley, and it's a really weird looking mountain because it's very kind of rounded in its form. It doesn't come to like a very sharp peak. It comes to almost flat top to it, and it's got very steep sides, and so almost more a plateau than anything else, but very tall. And so you find yourselves come to the side of the mountain, and you start climbing, and for the most part it's not too terrible a climb, but as you start to go up, a couple of things start to really get in your way. First, it starts to get pretty windy as you're making your way up, and Azarion, it's becoming very difficult for you to like fly, especially holding Deadly Massacre or carrying Deadly Massacre. It becomes very difficult to keep in the air, to the point where you have to start actually like walking for the most part, or at least if you wanted to fly, it would be a challenge. You have to roll some sort of checks.
Okay.
Additionally, you start to come to a part of the mountainside which is a bit steep. It's got fairly big cliff edges, and it just kind of rises upwards. And this I'd like to handle in something of a skill challenge. What would you all... So as you kind of get to this more steep cliffside area of mountain, it's maybe 100 feet of kind of steep cliff before it starts to round out again. How do you all want to try and approach this?
Okay. Azarion tells to Deadly Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful. I'm going to throw you over that mountain, all the way on the top.
Jeremy, to ask a question. Can I use disguise self and make myself shorter and thinner? Is that gonna help?
No, disguise self is an illusion, unfortunately. So that wouldn't actually make you shorter and thinner. It would just make you appear shorter and thinner. If that's what your goal is, just to look shorter and thinner, you can try it. But I'm not sure that's gonna help.
Yeah, it's not gonna help. Okay.
Just let me trochę rower the month.
So you wanna try and what, Azarion? Fly up?
No, trochę. Just
throw me.
Oh, you want to throw? Oh, goodness. It's 100 feet up. I don't think you can throw. But you want to try? Deadly Massacre, are you in?
Oh, I'm in.
Okay. All right. So as you two are kind of getting ready to Azarion, you're getting ready to huck Deadly Massacre just up to the side of the cliff. Deus and Sikia, you see them like, all right, they're going to throw you up the... Okay, and like, you see this all starting to go down. Do you two do anything?
Watch.
Okay.
So, I just think you guys should know, with the wind blowing at the rate it is and the direction, if you toss them... Sorry, I can't quite tell with the voice and all. Up like that, you're gonna not go in the direction you want to go.
It's a he, by the way.
Whatever direction it's going.
You just throw it anyway. Okay, all right, I love it. Can you roll me an athletics check, Azarion, as you try to throw the halfling?
Oh.
So you go and throw the halfling, and Deadly, I imagine, do you have like a cloak or something?
I wish. No, not for this one.
So what are you wearing? Just like your normal leather armor?
Yeah.
Okay, so Azarion just like huck you, throw you upwards, and you go to reach, and you actually get quite a bit of height on the throw, which you weren't really expecting. The problem is you were about 6 feet from the cliff edge, and you only go about like a foot horizontally, so you're still far away from the cliff edge. You go up, but not out, and then you fall back down on the ground. And actually, you take a d6 of fall damage. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall as you just bonk on the ground.
Ow! Why did you do that?
You said you're ready.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Wasn't ready.
Yeah, we needed a drum roll. Why we didn't get a drum roll?
Okay. So you still all just stand at the bottom, at the cliff edge. Deus and Sikia, it's exactly what you expected was going to happen. They fell flat on their face.
Okay. Are there like footholds and handholds on this cliff, or is it just a straight vertical cliff?
Yeah, well, it's really interesting. There are like almost ridges in it. So it's definitely got like an interesting ridge-like texture to the stonework that you could definitely grab onto and climb. If anything, like the wind might make it a little difficult, but without, say, if there were no wind and no other distractions, right, this would be an easy climb. You climb right up. But with the wind blowing, it could be a little difficult.
How high is this cliff?
About 100 feet is this section that you need to get up.
Deus, do you have any rope?
Rope? Nah, but I got some, like, nice paper if you want it. You asked me honestly if I felt like I was gonna need rope today.
Okay, you know what? Sikia's gonna pull out her rope. Alright? She's gonna hand him the rope.
Okay.
And she's going to take one end of it, and she's going to start climbing up this cliff end herself, and at about 50 feet, or if we get that high, she's going to attempt to strap it. That way they can at least clear 50 feet of the cliff.
Mm-hmm. And you're feeling the wind, like, blowing into your back in such a way that, like, it's, like, blowing from, like, under and behind you.
Okay, so it's helping me up.
Yeah, it seems like it. It seems to be on your side, actually, which you're a little surprised about. Must be the weird shape of the mountain that's making the wind blow in such a way.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, you want to just climb up 50 feet?
I'm going to climb up 50 feet, hope that Deus can secure it on his side. I'm going to secure it up here, and then I'm just going to attempt to... How do I explain this?
Like, you take a python and nail it in there, hammer it in.
If I had pythons, yes.
Do you have pythons? Is that something that you would have?
I've had this character sheet prepared for like a month, and it does not have pythons on it, and I don't want to just throw in that I have a dungeoneering pack because
I respect it.
Cheating.
Well, in the future, maybe they have pythons.
I have an idea.
You're taking a flute and you're gonna hammer the flute into the stone.
No. I'm going to use 2 arrows and secure it.
Okay, I mean that isn't as secure, but it might help. But before we do that, you're starting to climb, right? You're climbing your way up. It's slow going because of the wind, and you're not a proficient climber. What Azarion and Deadly Massacre, what are you two doing? Because are you staying at the bottom with the securing the rope down there?
Yeah, I don't have anything to secure it with yet, so I'm just holding it.
Okay, and Azarion, you're just watching. You know it's your turn to be the watcher.
Yeah.
Okay. With the rope, I'm thinking I'm just gonna wait unless there needs to be any help with that.
No, that's fine.
I'm gonna toss down 2 more arrows as straightly as I can to not, stab someone.
It's fine. Okay, so you're climbing up. I'd like you to roll me a d12 for every 10 feet you go. So I'd like you to roll me 5 d12s. Yeah, you climb up 50 feet. No issues at all.
Perfect.
You want to try to fix the 50-foot length of rope at that point?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Otherwise, I'm just gonna attempt to... The wind, like the really rough, rushing wind is at my back and below me, so once we get this settled, I'm just gonna attempt to parkour my way up this thing.
Okay, can you roll me, what kind of check do you think would be, I guess, a survival check to try and fasten this thing up here?
Oh, survival to...
Unless you have another argument, I think survival makes the most sense.
Survival, sure, but I could also use, no, because I can't do that. Sleight of hand, maybe.
Sleight of hand is discretion.
Discretion.
Or finesse. This is a tying a good knot.
You're right. Or this is pinning it to a rock on the, the direct other edge. I don't know. I'm trying to weasel away from survival, to be honest, because that is not a good check for me.
I think, unfortunately, in this round, you've got a bad check for you. Go ahead and give it to me. It's not a super high DC.
I'll take it and hope.
Okay.
Yo, hold up. I was gonna shout some bardic inspiration to you. You got this, Sikia. Just remember the bunny shape. The bunny shape. That's a good knot.
All right, go ahead and roll your inspiration. We'll see how inspired you are.
That's a D6?
Yep.
All right, good. Yeah, you tie a little knot. Looks like a bunny rabbit. Like, I did it. Okay, you think it's as secure as you're gonna get it.
Yeah, I don't know if this is any help or any more secure than it could be, but He's got the wings. She's small, and I can help you at least.
Okay. You wanna climb? Oh.
I hate bunny rabbits. I'm going just to cut everything they just did.
Wait, what?
You're gonna.
I'm going to cut the knot.
Well,
Right.
there's no bunny rabbits. It's just a knot. It's tied a knot.
Pissed.
Azarion, let's just leave it the way it is because we need to get this mountain too.
If you go to cut the knot, you hear a voice of an old wizard in your head. There's no being a dick in DnDTime. And unfortunately, Bartholomew magically protects the rope from your knife. Because that's just kind of mean.
Okay, fine. Let's go.
Okay, so you want to climb the rest of the way at this point? Or what's the plan?
I'm going to climb.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me 5 more d12s.
All 3 of you carry me.
We're going to resolve that in a second. Yeah, you climb to the top, no problem.
Jeremy, could I use maybe strength to? Is there a way that I could do like rock climbing on the thing, on the mountain?
Yeah, I mean, do you have? I don't think like right now. I'm not even asking people to roll for a check. You can just climb it at this point. There's just having rolls to see if anything else happens when you climb, and those might require you to make a check.
Got it. Okay.
Are you asking? Do you have like a? Is there like a particular reason?
I was just thinking maybe there's, instead of us waiting for the rope, we could just go on the mountain like rock climbing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You want to just start climbing up?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and you can roll me 5d, or I guess you're just trying to climb all the way up?
Yeah, just the same as...
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you roll me 10 d12s then? And we'll see if anything happens while you're climbing.
How do we do this? Is it?
So it's /r space 10d12 in the chat, and we'll see if anything happens. No, yeah, you climb to the top without any sorts of problems. Deadly Massacre, you just you use your kind of halfling nimbleness to scamper up the rocks and make it to the top, no problems.
Nice. I beat everyone there. Haha.
I guess maybe you would have beaten Sikia just slightly because Sikia stopped to tie the rope. But Azarion, as you were asking everyone to carry you, it looks like Deadly has already climbed up the mountainside.
Yes, I have to do this by myself, just like everything else. Everybody, so easy.
I'll tell you what, man. I'll wait down here, and if for some reason your wings stop flapping and you fall, I'll try to catch you.
That sounds good enough.
Alrighty. So you're just gonna fly up?
Yes.
Alrighty. In that case, you're gonna go twice as quick as everyone else. Can you only 5 d12s, and we'll see if anything happens as you go up. Man, I can't believe we haven't done a single. There we go. All right. So. Azarion, you start flying up the mountainside. And as you're kind of going, you're maybe 30 feet up. And you're not flying directly in the path that Deadly Massacre or Sikia had taken, because simply they were just kind of in the way. But as you're flying up, you see on the mountainside, nestled in with some rocks. You have to fly kind of close to the cliff edge because of all the wind. But you see nestled in there what looks like a bird's nest, and there are a bunch of big eggs. And the wind is pushing you like right toward it. Do you try and avoid slamming? Like if the wind is buffeting you toward the rock face, do you try and avoid slamming into the rock face, or do you just go like, oh, bird eggs, and go for it?
I'm going for it.
Oh, okay. Can you roll me an athletics check to catch the rock face as you flap in and catch it? Okay. Yeah, you grab onto the cliff edge, no problem, bracing yourself. And yeah, there's a big old bird nest, pretty big bird nest with a bunch of fairly large eggs. They're kind of somewhere between the size of like an apple, and they're probably about a tennis ball, I think, in terms of the size of them. And there are about 3 of them in there. They're kind of white with mottled brown splotches on them. To the rest of you, you just saw Azarion kind of get buffeted by the wind into the cliff edge, but catch it suddenly. Almost as though something had gone wrong.
Azarion, come over here. Bring those eggs to me.
I plan to eat them raw right now.
No, probably those have garlic in them. You don't know that.
This probably isn't the best place to have a picnic either. Maybe we could go somewhere less windy.
We got one person yelling down from the top. We got one person yelling up from the bottom.
Okay.
Azarion, what do you do?
I throw eggs to each person.
Oh my god. Okay, so you reach up and you grasp onto one of the eggs, and immediately you hear a loud, like, screech sound, which kind of echoes in the mountainside behind you. And as you kind of grab onto the first egg, you all turn and you see what is an eagle flying toward Azarion. Oh goodness, this is not the song I thought it was. That's okay. I'd like you all to roll for initiative. This eagle attacks you. Guess we're gonna stick with this song though.
This is
just a second. I can find the.
It's just above your current hit points on your character sheet.
Alrighty.
This is a very deranged song for Eagle Murder.
Yeah, this is not the song that I wanted at all. This is not the Hungarian dance, which is what I wanted. But we're going to get to the Hungarian.
That was almost critical initiative.
Yeah, the eagle apparently rolled very, very well. All right, here we go. This is what I wanted. The eagle is going to fly down toward you, Azarion, cawing angrily. And it is going to make a talon strike against you. As it slashes with its talons. A 15. Does that hit your armor class, Azarion?
I have 17.
So it just barely misses as it screeches and slashes down with its claws. You're currently holding one of its eggs. And that is all the eagle does on its turn. What would you like to do?
Well, before I do anything, I'm going to say, can you give me a back massage?
The eagle screeches with hatred at you for attacking its eggs.
Okay, I guess that is now. I'm going just a second to check my spells. Okay, I'm going to try to use inflict.
Oh, jeez. So, climbing this mountain, you've already got all your hands on the cliffside. If you wanted to reach out and try and inflict wounds, I'd need you to roll a check to keep your balance. That would probably be a dexterity saving throw or an acrobatics check. I'll let you pick which one you'd want to do. Alrighty, you grab onto the mountain, you just kind of like hang off with your hand and reach out to inflict wounds on this eagle. Go ahead and roll your inflict wounds, see if you hit. Unfortunately, the 7 does not. The eagle flaps backwards and is not affected by your wound, by your attack. Unfortunately. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Azarion?
Just a second, yes.
Okay.
Just to check again the... Okay, can I do the sanctuary?
Sure, yeah. As a bonus action, you can absolutely cast Sanctuary as you protect yourself from, hopefully, the eagle's attacks. Good call. Alrighty, and that lasts for up to a minute. Or actually, it lasts for a minute. All right, Deus, it's your move. Up, you see an eagle about 30 feet up is attacking Azarion, who has grabbed one of its eggs.
All right.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Azarion, did you want to try and move? Because if you have wings and can fly, you could try and just keep flying up the mountain.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now, the eagle will try and make an attack of opportunity against you but it does have to roll against your sanctuary. So what's your spell save DC? You said like 13, 12?
13.
Okay. The eagle succeeds, so it makes an attack of opportunity against you as you try and fly out of its reach. It's about 20 total for 4 slashing. So it slashes you on the back as you take to the sky and fly up away from it. So you are now 60 feet up, not 30. And now, Deus, it's your move. You see Azarion has taken to the air and flown away from the eagle, but the eagle still looks pissed. It's about 30 feet above you. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna call out to it. Hey, bird brain! Why don't you make like a flock and feather off? Wait, I said that backwards.
Excellent. It has to roll wisdom save?
Yes.
All right, it is pretty wise. Oh. And as you yell, the eagle drops dead and falls out of the air. A majestic eagle flops to the ground next to you.
Man, I was really just hoping to scare it off.
It's just falls out of the sky. And
does it even have the intelligence to die to psychic damage?
You betcha it does. And yeah, the eagle now lies dead on the ground. I'm going to keep your initiative order in case we need it. We left off on Deus, so it'd be deadly if we have another initiative.
Sikia looks down with an arrow knocked in her bow, and she's like, wait. How'd you kill that?
For legal reasons, we're never speaking of this again.
Is that a pun?
You know it is.
Yeah, Azarion, with the eagle slain, nothing else bothers you. You want to just fly to the top of the mountain or the hill?
No, I'm just going to stay in the air because I can.
Okay, do you just still on the side of the cliff face, or are you going to fly up to where your allies are?
Still up the cliff.
Okay, sure. Okay, that's fine. So, Deus, what are you doing? You see Azarion just staying about 60 feet up, not flying the rest of the way. Oh yeah, Azarion, you have that egg. Do you want to do anything with it? Do you want to drop it down? Do you want to eat it? What's your move?
Azarion, give it to me.
I throw it on Deadly Massacre's.
You throw it to Deadly Massacre?
Yes.
Deadly, do you try and catch the egg?
Yeah.
Right,
I don't know if I can catch it.
Roll me an acrobatics check to catch the egg. You catch it! Yeah, you catch it.
Heck yeah.
Azarion hucks it up and you catch this eagle egg. You've got an egg now. Sikia, you see this egg.
You're now mother of an eagle.
Thanks. Even though I eat people, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Eagles.
Hey. Depending on the kind of bird that grows up to be, it could be a person too.
I mean,
Ooh.
yeah, it might be a hybrid.
Interesting thought.
Haven't you guys ever heard of Aarakocra before?
No. Who's that?
They're a race of bird people.
And Sakai, as you explained to them that Aarakocra are a race of humanoid birds, they're the best of both worlds in terms of consumption. Not that you'd ever eat a human. Deus, you're the only one still at the bottom of the mountain, this cliff edge. What do you want to do?
I feel really bad about killing an eagle.
So you got a dead eagle on the ground.
I feel even worse if I just left it here and didn't at least do something productive with it.
Put it up in your bag. We can have it for dinner later.
Deus will, in fact, shove the bird in his bag and then start climbing up the cliff face.
Okay.
How's the wind up here?
Do you need a hug?
I think I'm good.
Fine, I wouldn't give it to you either way.
Okay, so how's the wind up here, Jeremy?
Up at the top, it's pretty windy, and you can see it's mostly flat. Really strange. Most mountaintops come to like kind of peaks. This doesn't. I mean, there's still areas of bigger rocks and things like that, but it's overall very flat. It's got a kind of curved, almost surface to it. But in the distance, you can smell on the winds the wafting scent of garlic.
Okay.
that apparently grows up on these mountains.
Sakai's gonna do two things. She's going to tie up her hair and clip some of her clothing down.
Okay.
I'm glad we call her Jake.
Well, first I think I need Deus to roll me a couple of d12s. Deus, you're climbing the mountains. I think because of the rope, again, you get the first part a lot faster than the second part. So I just need you to roll me 5 d12s instead of the normal 10 for climbing up here. It's giving you 1 for every 10 feet. Okay. So as you're climbing up, you get about halfway up, right? You just passed the rope part, and as you go to reach for the next kind of rock to grab onto and climb up, you see the rock kind of shift and skitter, and it appears to be a giant wolf spider, which I've just rolled its initiative. And with that, we return to the initiative order, as now there's a giant wolf spider that is hissing toward you, Deus. Do you call out at all, or...?
I call out in an unconventional way. I spit out some very choice words that probably don't make a lot of sense.
Excellent. Some clear curse words in a language maybe people don't hear around and understand. Oh, I see. I was saying, it's not actually your turn, Deus.
Oh,
so
well.
You can save that for your round, because it's actually Deadly's turn on the initiative.
Point.
So, what language do you curse in?
What language is it for people who might be wondering? Is it French?
It's... You were going to go with French, yes.
Okay, let's say that.
Oh,
I don't know any
I
French
can't-
curses. My high school French is not held up.
I can't use any of my 3 exotic languages.
So, Deadly, you hear Deus cry out in some rather nasty-sounding words that you don't understand fully. And as you look over the edge, you see a very large spider, like the size of maybe like... actually, pretty big. Maybe the size of a large dog, clinging to the side of the cliff, menacing him.
It is literally a wolf spider.
Yeah. What would you like to do, Deadly?
I can't use protection from evil and good, can I?
You probably don't think that this is a natural creature, the spider. You don't think that would probably do too much on it.
Okay. I'll do an Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an attack roll with your Eldritch Blast. Yeah! You reach over the edge and blast it down, absolutely hitting the spider. Go ahead and roll me your damage. Just gotta click on the word Eldritch Blast in the chat. Oh! Woo! Woo-wee! A whopping 10. All right. You hit the spider. It is still kicking. This actually is a lot tougher than that eagle was, but you've hit him.
It's also pushed, says the weapon or the attack.
Oh, wait a minute. Does your Eldritch Blast? Did you pick the Eldritch Invocation lets you push targets with your blast?
I don't know.
Huh.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, you did. Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
So,
They had
Deus,
me on that one.
Deus, I guess this is over way faster than I thought. The spider gets blasted and flies past you off the cliffside. Gets caught up in the wind and just kind of blows away down the side of the mountain. Actually, it gets blown back into the mountain and slams against it. So now it's below you. I'll roll an extra bit of damage for the wind, because the wind was blowing toward the cliffside. Okay, so the spider is now grievously injured. Sikia, it's your move. Sikia? Apex? Hello? It looks like we are missing a Sikia right now. So we will jump back to that in a hot minute. I guess in that case we'll move to the top of the initiative. Azarion, as you look over the side, you see there's another giant spider. Now it's a bit below your ally, though. Would you like to do anything, or do you not really care?
I'm going to do something just
Mm-hmm.
to see what
I
the action is.
apologize. I was not.
Oh. All right, sorry about that. We'll get back to you in just a second. Sikia, go ahead, Azarion.
Oh, so still me? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going. Can I use Fairy Fire?
Yeah, absolutely. You cast a spell of Fairy Fire upon the spider. What does it have to roll?
I'm actually not really sure. This is the...
Okay, so it has to roll a dexterity saving throw. I'm going to give it disadvantage because it just got knocked off the cliffside. It's going to fail because your DC is 13. So you cast the Fairy Fire, and with a Fairy Fire, it's kind of illuminated in a bright color. What color does the spider turn when you cast your Fairy Fire upon it?
Pink.
Okay. There's a giant pink hairy spider attached to the cliffside below you, Deus. And I assume that's all you're doing this turn, Azarion?
Yes.
Excellent. In that case, Sikia, there's a giant pink hairy spider hanging on the cliffside below Deus.
I still have an arrow knocked, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
shoot,
still have the arrow knocked.
I'm gonna shoot the spider with my longbow.
Okay.
This is an advantage?
Yeah, because of the Fairy Fire, absolutely. All right, and because of that advantage, you're going to hit him for a 9 piercing damage. All right, this is a grievously injured spider. Its hairs are all prickled over. And I think, is that all you got?
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay. We move to the next in the initiative order, which is the spider, actually. The spider will crawl up after you, Deus, and it's going to make an attack roll against you. What's your armor class?
15.
It goes to bite. Well, thankfully, in your case, missing, as it crawls up on you and just starts to bite at you. Now it's your turn.
We're gonna get a lot more colorful French language.
Okay.
Pardon all the French, because this is, oh dear God, get it off of me.
Mm-hmm. You cry out in fear, anguish, wrath. It could be a many a thing. But whatever it is, it's obscene.
And this time, actually...
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Excellent. This time it has to roll that saving throw against your dissonant whispers, which it fails cripplingly. And normally it would have to run away, but instead its head explodes because you just kill it with the psychic damage.
It is twice that Deus has killed something with psychic damage.
Deus, can you explain how the spider dies? Is it's like it's crawling up on you, this horrible like poisonous saliva dripping from its fangs?
He, in his colorful French expressions, basically instructs the spider to make the nearest exit the hell away from him. And the spider slightly misinterprets and just head implodes and goes to hell.
It just and it falls off the cliffside, splattering down somewhere below. And at this point, with the spider slain, you're able to easily clamber to the top and meet up with the rest of your allies. It's very, very windy up here, and once again, the scent of garlic is potent on the air. And what would you all like to do?
You don't like spiders much, do you?
I don't like that spider, but I can't decide what I like less. That spider or the scent of all this garlic.
Are you sure you're not a vampire?
For the last time, I'm not a vampire. I'm just unusually pale.
Guys, let's just get the garlic and go back to the giant.
Just a second. Can we use the web of that spider so I can make my Facebook account?
As you have this thought, Azarion, you look over the cliffside. The spider's like 100 feet down at the bottom of the cliff, but you can fly down and start like gutting the spider. We're like, where's the web in this creature? Unfortunately, though, you don't find any. Might not be a webby spider. It might be more like a tarantula spider.
God damn it! I guess I'll just bring it for Massacre.
Okay. You carry the corpse of the spider back up?
Yes.
Okay.
For the daily Massacre and maybe the rest if they want to eat it.
Okay. Well, you have a dead eagle and a dead spider you're carrying around. All right. As you walk along this kind of flatter top to the Littletoe Mountain, you kind of follow the curved, mostly flat surface until you find an area that kind of forms almost like a gully. It curves down and comes to a more sharp edge that connects to a larger mountain area. And yeah, as you start to approach there, you can see growing all around in that gully, there is what looks like just garlic growing out of the ground.
Let's just get this garlic and move on with it.
Yeah, fuck it, let's get the garlic.
I'm allergic.
Looks like garlic to me.
All right, you go over to the garlic plants and you start kind of growing them up, or pulling them up rather. And as you do, what are all of your passive perceptions?
I'm so glad you asked, because mine is 9.
11.
Uh-huh.
I need to find it.
Okay.
It is on the left side of your sheet, just below the box with all the skills.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. 13. I found it.
Okay. And Sikia?
11.
Okay. So as you all kind of are searching around, pulling up garlic, you're collecting quite a bit of it. There's a lot of it, like a ton of it here, all growing in this little cranny, this little gully. I think it is Azarion who's the first to notice as a small crumbling of rock from the sloped part of the mountain right before you, the larger area that's a bit higher up. A little rock pebble just falls down and falls to the floor before you. And Azarion, as you, I assume you say something and look up toward it?
I knock on it and ask, is anyone there?
You knock on the little rock. The rock does not answer. But as a few more rocks kind of crumble down, you all look upwards. And you see what this giant must have been concerned for the entire time. You see rising over the large rock formation, the large black horns of some sort of gigantic goat creature, a long kind of gray tuft of hair reaching down from its chin. Thunder cracks behind it, and it calls, "Bah!" As it looms over you threateningly. I'd like everyone to roll for initiative again.
Oh boy.
As you must battle Gogora, the giant goat. Sikia, looks like you're more on point this time. You were ready for the giant goat.
Yeah.
Oof. Not great rolls for the 6. Oh, sorry, the 4 and the 7 though. All right, we'll just go to the top of the initiative first. Sikia, there's a terrifying giant goat looming over you.
How far away is he?
He's about 30 feet up. He's on top of, like, you're in this gully pulling out the garlic, and it's looming down 30 feet above you. It's kind of like a little further away at the sloped cliffside, but it's pretty steep. It's the kind of thing only a goat could traverse safely.
Only a goat.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right. That's fine.
Safely. You could traverse it unsafely if you wanted.
No. See, I have an idea, but I won't say it yet. I'm gonna Ray of Frost the goat.
Okay. You
21
blast out. Yeah, you'll absolutely hit the goat. For 2 points of cold.
And it has 10 less movement speed.
That could be very, very relevant. Is there anything else that you would like to do on your turn?
Pull my short sword, and that's basically it.
Okay. Do you want to, like, move away from the cliffside, or are you staying in the gully with your allies?
I'm staying in the gully because of the curse. To me, I'm probably the tanky, or the highest AC here.
Okay. Deadly Massacre, there's an evil goat looming above you. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna use Eldritch Blast again.
All right. You blast your Eldritch Power, which flies through the air up into the goat and misses as another crash of lightning echoes in the sky. All right. Would you like to move it all, Deadly, or is it the end of your turn?
How far away am I?
The goat's about 30 feet up on the mountainside.
I will stay where I am.
Okay. Gogora's turn. Gogora is going to pick a target, probably the one that hit it. So Sikia, the goat, bah! Lets out a horrible war cry, lowers its head to you, and charges just down the cliffside. Unfortunately, even with 10 feet less movement, it's enough to get to you. Just barely, though, as it charges right at you and makes a ram attack. Which, kapow. All right, a 7. Actually, it should have an advantage on this because it's going straight down the cliffside. All right.
Shield.
Ooh, does it miss you with that?
Yep, because that makes my AC 23.
Whoa, what kind of bard are you?
I'm a draconic sorcerer.
You're not a bard. I guess you have the draconic AC? Well, damn. Yeah, you throw up a shield as it slams into you with a force that you probably think would have killed you. Because it would have done even more damage on top of that. And the goat is now on the ground amidst all of the garlic. Just bah! What's that, a horrible war bah?
Can I make a mention?
Uh-huh.
The 20 would have thresholded me, actually.
Ooh, even with the +5?
No, I'm saying the damage from that 20 would have thresholded me.
Oh, well, it does extra damage on its charge. So I would have had extra damage if it hit you. But it didn't. So the goat is now amongst you all. Azarion, what would you like to do? Currently, you have arms full of garlic, but I assume you've mostly dropped those.
I say, hey there, you little unicorn. Would you like to be my pet?
The goat buzz evilly at you.
I guess that's a no.
I don't know. That's up to you to interpret.
Also, can I use, like, Channel Divinity, Radiance of the Dawn?
I don't know what that does. Probably. What does it do?
Sent it in the...
As an action? Yeah, absolutely. You wanna just unleash your divine light upon this evil goat? Beautiful. So how does this work? Do you have like a holy symbol that you hold out, or do you just stare at it and your eyes flash with light, or what does this look like?
My eyes turn pink, glow pink.
Very pink. Uh-huh. Excellent. And what do you like laser eye this goat?
Yeah, but more like Omega beams in zigzag left and right.
Okay, beautiful. So I need to roll a Constitution saving throw for the goat. It rolls a 3. It's going to take full damage. So that's going to be a D10 plus your cleric level. So, 2D10. So you can just roll that, but minus you can just type that message to roll it without the period. 11, and then you're a level 2 cleric, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you strike the goat for 13 points. It goes bah as it is burned by your pink light. There's kind of pink scars and pink flame, I guess, singeing off of its hair. Is there anything else that you'd like to do, Azarion?
Just a second. Can I also use on it the burning hands as well?
The what?
Burning hands.
Burning hands. Unfortunately, both of those are an action, so that would have been your action that turn.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case...
The next turn, maybe, though.
Yeah, in that case, just say, either be my pet or go down.
Excellent. All right, Deus, there is a terrifying goat nearby. It is menacing Sikia.
Well. Hey, goat. Don't you know? Sorry.
No, go, please. I don't want to interrupt you.
Don't you know, when you're being stubborn, they call it being bull-headed, not goat-headed.
I love it. It doesn't love it. It gets struck by your vicious mockery. Well, 2 points of psychic damage, and there's disadvantage on its next attack.
Hey, Fix, I think I have it distracted. Try to strike it where it's weak, probably somewhere where there's not horns.
Excellent.
Okay.
Sikia, you gain a point of bardic inspiration. That was a pretty good line. I like that. And it is up to the top of the initiative with Sikia, actually. Sikia, as it goes to your turn at the top of the initiative, actually, you did not roll. You rolled a 23, so it doesn't happen yet. It's your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna turn around to its backside, right? Just moving around it in melee range, and I'm gonna shock and grasp it.
Excellent. You roll with, I guess not with advantage because it's not wearing metal, but you do have the bardic inspiration. Should you just use it? I assume you're gonna just go with the 19.
Yep, I'm gonna go with a 19.
You'll absolutely hit it as you reach out. Lightning crackles from your hand as you strike the goat. Alrighty.
Can I not make that with my sword, just as a fluff?
Yeah, sure.
Basically,
Lightning crackles from your blade.
Yes.
In the butt. You cattle prod this goat, which goes bah, seemingly not happy. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Sikia?
No, that's all I got for right now.
Alrighty. Now, It will be Deadly's turn, but Deadly, right before you go, you see 2 other giant goats crest the top of the cliff edge and go, bah, and look down menacingly at the lot of you as lightning crackles again in the sky. And what would you like to do, Deadly?
I'm gonna use Burning Hands.
Alrighty, just at the, at whom?
I would have to actually walk up first and then use it, I think.
Yeah, so do you want to go for Gogora, who is on the ground with you all, or do you want to wait and try and get the 2 other giant goats as they approach?
I'm gonna wait, so I'm gonna use Eldritch Blast again on Gogora.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you could hold your action to try and just blast the 2 goats as they charge, if you wanted. But you could either, or you could just blast Gogora. That's perfectly fine too.
Yeah, I'll wait then.
Okay. So you've got the fire welled up in your hands, just ready for the goats as they charge down. And on the goats' turns, they all charge down. So I guess the first thing, I'd like you to roll your burning hands as the 2 goats charge down the mountainside. Heads bowed, ready to strike. They need to roll dexterity saving throws, which one of them fails and 1 succeeds. So that first giant goat is going to take 7 points of fire damage. Whew. The second one will take 3, so it's half. The first one seems grievously injured from the flame. The second one, not so much. But they all charge down. So one of them is going to go for you, Deadly. Makes a ram attack against you. Whew. Oh boy.
No.
19 to hit.
Oh boy. I'm still up.
Well, unfortunately, I need you to roll a strength saving throw from its charge. Which you succeed, so you don't take any extra damage. It slams into you, and you feel like it would have knocked you prone and stomped upon you with its hooves. But you, with your, I guess your short halfling stature, you just take the hit and kind of like hop backwards and land upon your feet. But it still hits you for 8. The second one is going to make its charge attack at Azarion. And actually, I realized the first one should have had advantage, but it hit anyway, so we'll just ignore that. Azarion, goat coming at you. It charges and rolls a 10, so that will miss you. Oh, I'm sorry, I rolled Gogora's on both of those. That's fine, they have the exact same attack. And then Gogora is going to turn on you, Sikia, because you attacked it, and it is going to just make a regular old ram attack against you, which it will miss.
Yep.
Alrighty. Azarion, it's your move. There are now 3 goats at the ground level. One of them is right in front of you, another one is right in front of Deadly, and the third one is facing off with Sikia.
For the one that is in front of me, I'm going to poke it dead in the eye and pray it dies of the prey.
You say what?
The one that is in front of me, I'm going to poke it dead in the eye and pray it is going to die of the prey.
Yep, excellent. Go ahead.
And also I'm going to use Burning Hand. Can I do that?
Which cantrip?
Burning Hands.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Absolutely. Go ahead and cast the Burning Hand spell. As you blast that giant goat, it succeeds, so it does take half damage. It is also now pretty grievously burned. It is very injured. Do you want to try and run away from him, or are you just going to stay up there battling him?
I'm going to use my wings and move behind the rest of them.
Okay, it would take an attack of opportunity if you fly away from it. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, it will swing its ram out at you, or its horns, which I think that misses your armor class. So you fly him into the air, kind of out of its reach, and you get behind them all. So kind of up toward the cliff edge they would just at. Excellent. Yes. Deus, it's your move. You're the only one not being accosted by goats. What would you like to do?
Well, they're gonna regret that choice of prioritization. Deus is going to run out towards the most middle point between all of the goats.
Okay, yeah, they're all pretty close, so...
And push out a weave of not quite vitriolic, but definitely disdainful mimic towards the goats.
I love it. Ooh, I love this. Your hatred fills the goats' hearts with fear. They have to roll charisma saving throws. I got some news for you. Wow, one of the goats actually succeeded. All right, so the goat that is saved on both of the Burning Hand spells is the only one that's saved on that DC. The other two goats, Gogora and the random other giant goat, have been burned. Or have been baned, as your little lesser curse has afflicted them. Is there anything else that you would like to do, Deus?
I'm trying to decide between the two people that we have that don't have Bardic Inspiration, which one should get it, because I only have one left.
Well, Deadly goes pretty quickly, just after Sikia, so maybe Deadly?
Hey, Deadly! I've happened to have eaten goat before. They're pretty tasty.
Okay, I'll trust you.
You gained a Bardic Inspiration die. And of course, as you bane the goats and say all these things, the goats go, bah! And they seem kind of concerned. Sikia, it is your move.
Is it?
Yeah, Gogora looks pretty beat. A very good hit could maybe take him down.
Alright, I'm gonna stab him.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my Bardic.
All right. Go ahead and roll that extra d6. Yeah, with the Bardic Inspiration, you hit Gogora, who is just a little bit tougher than your average goat. And, wow, and you finish him off. 29 out of 29, exactly. How do you kill Gogora?
You know how you always have those things that are like, in hunting, strike here to kill your target. Okay, she's gonna stab him in basically the vital area where he just...
Excellent. You've played those games before. You've been to a Chuck E. Cheese.
I have. I have.
You stab Gogora right through the chest, and it goes, ah, and collapses dead upon the ground.
The included, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you stand triumphant. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Sikia?
I'm gonna pull my sword from its dead body, and which one looks
tongue walls out, if you do.
Which is the second most beat up?
They're both pretty beat. Both of them look pretty rough.
Okay. I'm going to walk to the side of the one that's focusing on Azarion.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that one's kind of alone at this point because Azarion's kind of fluttered up into the air with their wings.
Oh, that's fine.
Sure. You charge up to him, and you're just going to stay there?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Deadly, it's your move.
Oh,
There's a goat menacing you.
Oh boy. I'll use Chill Touch.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll me your Chill Touch attack.
No.
All right. You're going to hit it. Is this like an icy spectral hand, or what does this look like?
Yeah, my hand turns really cold and I'm just gonna blast it.
Excellent. Your icy claws rip through this goat, slaying it, and it collapses upon the mountainside here, alongside Gogora. Only the one goat remains. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Deadly?
Nope.
All right, that one remaining goat looks around sheepishly. Bah! And it is going to turn and disengage from you, Sikia, and start to hop away up the cliffside, trying to escape.
Alright, that's fine.
Azarion, it's your move. A goat has started to hop away. What would you like to do?
I follow that goat with my wings, go to its ear, and start singing heavy metal.
Okay. You're just gonna haunt this goat?
Yes.
Okay. So, as the goat, I'm sorry, do you attack the goat as it flees?
I'm trying to think of one last clever insult to shout out at it, like, ba ba ba, all the way home, little billy goat. Not my best.
But
Good
as you call out at this goat, oh, that was not the right roll again, but still, it dies. As Azarion, you're flying next to this goat.
Oh my god. Deus is
yelling in its ear.
3.
The goat's ears start to bleed, and it falls and collapses to the ground.
Deus is 3 for 3 with that.
Well, 2 of those were exact damage totals too, right? But
Now I know.
with the last goat defeated,
all of them were exact damage totals, I think. For all
Now I
the
know when I have a child how to deal with it. Just sing heavy metal to it.
Christ. All right, but with that, you have succeeded. I mean, so far, I assume you gather the garlic and go find the giant.
Screw the giant, eat the garlic.
Let's bring along the goats too. Maybe he'll want some Lego flame.
We're taking the garlic and hoisting the goats too. Yeah, I'm good with that.
So sometime late in the evening, you all have dragged 3 giant goats. These are not like normal-sized goats. They're like small, large horse-sized goats. But you've dragged three giant goats, a dead spider, and an eagle back across the plains, down from the mountainside, along with baskets full of garlic to
the eggs.
And you went back for the 2 eggs and 2 eagle eggs to this giant, who looks at you all and says, "Oh, I just needed garlic for my butter sauce." And he gestures, and there's like a little, I guess it's little for him, but like a cauldron that's kind of bubbling on a campfire, pretty late in the evening.
Hey man, it's not just DiGiorno, it's delivery.
Wow.
Now why don't we all eat together, and then we can have a nice night of it.
What the hell is DiGiorno?
It's a long story.
Is that the same pizza deal that you always tell me about?
And with that, you have completed this adventure. You sit alongside the campfire with the giant, devouring your random things that you've found. And I guess enjoy a wonderful night of festivities and whatever. In the morning, the giant leaves. The people are happy. And they pay you your requisite 100 Bartholomew bucks for completing your adventure. And you each gain your 1 point of experience. Which means for those of you who are level 1, Sikia and Deus, you're now level 2. And I actually don't know if anyone else levels up, but you're closer. Congrats, guys.
By the way, I'm level 2, so like, this is my 2nd game. How much do I need before I can...
Oh, so basically, once you've played a number of games at the level equals level, you level up. So you need 2 games at level 2 to get to level 3. So one more game at level 2 and you're leveled up again.
And would any of you like to shop?
Yeah, would anyone like to shop real quick?
I need to stop doing this, but assuming I have 500 Bartholomew bucks, I'd like to do another bag pull. It's very addicting.
It really is, isn't it?
This is called gambling.
Yeah, I mean, it is very literally fantasy gambling. But Bartholomew welcomes you for that as you walk in. Greetings, adventurers. Those were some crazy goats, it seems like.
Oh, yeah. I hope the village liked those leftovers.
I have no doubt that I will enjoy. But did any of you have anything that you needed to purchase?
I need the shampoo.
The what?
A shampoo.
Shampoo. That I can provide for free. And he hands you over a bottle of very nice shampoo.
Oh.
I don't have hair though, so this is for you.
You seem like you're a pretty wise to the world, aware of things kind of wizard. So I would imagine you know we're not from around here.
Oh, there are a number of adventurers in the lands of DnDTime that are from all corners of the of everything. So, of course, you're still welcome here regardless.
Back where I'm from, we got this place called Vegas, and I pulled a couple of nice things there a few times, and I happen to hear you've got a bag that has a similar approach to it.
Ah, yes. So this Vegas is a, they have a bunch of items in a big bag, and you can take one out. That's what this is.
Yeah, let's go with that. It's a little bit more to it, but I imagine you don't want the whole explanation quite yet.
Tell me about it, maybe in like 5 minutes. Tell me all about it. But
Will do.
For now, go ahead and roll me a D1000, and I wish you the best of luck, of course. 674. Not bad, not bad. All right. You reach into the bag and find within. Your hand passes first over. It's a simple vial, which seems not maybe worth your effort, and then a sword, but it's heavy. You can barely lift it, and you pick something lighter. The side of it is finished wood. You think it might be you think it might be an instrument of some kind, and as you pull it, it is actually a wooden bow, but it is brilliantly colored. Along the side of it, there are very bright of every color in the spectrum, kind of moving along it and twisting and swirling patterns. And Bartholomew speaks up, this is the rainbow bow. It's an interesting weapon. When you can use it a certain number of times, 3, I believe. And when you fire an arrow from it, it will release it'll cause the arrow to glow in a beautiful spectrum of light, giving a chance to blind anyone that you target with the arrow. And you've gained the rainbow bow, a blinding bow with you get to make 3 of those special blinding arrows per day. I'm sorry, actually, each creature between you and your target, so it kind of runs in a line bow for it, so it's like a line blind a day. So that is your item. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to purchase?
I'm making a bag roll.
Ah, excellent. Also, please go ahead and roll me a D1000, and as always, I also wish you the absolute best of luck. 148. Let us see. You're in the you made it into the main chunk.
Very good.
All right. So let us take a look here. All right. So your hand passes over first. It feels like a very heavy armor, maybe like a plate of some kind, which too tough to lift, unfortunately.
No, I know what that is too.
And then it seems to be just a simple necklace, maybe a little bit fragile. A solid piece of heavy cloth is what you end up getting. And as you pull them out, they appear to be, it's sort of like a hooded robe, and the end of it has cat ears on it, and there's also, just in the pockets of it, you find a couple of cat gloves as well. And Bartholomew thinks of, the cat wooden gloves! These are ancient vestments that harken back to an old war between some catomancers and dogomancers, and while you wear them, the ears will grant you advantage on perception checks which rely on hearing, and you can understand the language of cats. Additionally, the claws are 1d6 slashing damage weapon. And it also, you can use your action to cast a catnap spell, targeting willing creatures from the cat hood. So, interesting. There's some interesting vestments there. And you've gotten this cat outfit.
Hey.
And a quick shout out to the Flannel Pug for submitting that item today.
Indeed. And I forgot to mention previously, a shout out to Psychepath 23 for the submission of the Rainbow Bow.
Hey, Deus.
I'm never going to hear the end of this one.
Meow, are you doing?
Oh, jeez. And anyone else? Going once, going twice, and sold! We'll be right back, right, Jeremy?
Yeah, stay tuned for game 3 this evening.